Welcome to today's video. We are about to witness extremely intense moments where just one small mistake could lead to disastrous consequences. Every decision, every action can be the difference between safety and danger. Always stay alert, be cautious, and never underestimate the risks on the road. The dashcam recorded the scene where the blue car suddenly turned left to pass, causing the camera-mounted car to not slow down in time and lightly collided with the rear of the blue car. As a result, the blue car loses control, crashes into the side of a small truck, and then heads straight towards the field. The container driver deliberately squeezed and fought for the road with a truck going in the same direction, causing the truck to collect the side of the road, the wheels jumping up from the ground, then come down. Driving a motorbike stopped while trying to overtake a car, just as a truck coming in the opposite direction. Losing control, he slid and falls right into the wheels of the truck. Lucky, the truck driver steered in time, avoiding a tragedy. Car camera recorded the horrifying moment when the truck's airbags exploded, causing the car to overflow, creating a chaotic scene on the highway. Captured the moment the McLaren crossed the pedestrian crossing right at the yellow light, while the Honda Civic rushed into the intersection at high speed. Neither driver had time to notice each other, causing the Civic to crash hard into McLaren's front. Both cars were seriously damaged. Heart-shocking moment when the pilot was sitting in the cockpit, an airplane from behind speed at 100 kilometers per hour. The left wing highly collapsed, almost hitting his head, making him dizzy. Polski Linii Kolejowe, SA, has created a realistic simulation of a train engine colliding with a railway crossing carriage. A must-watch video, a powerful warning about railway safety. A car suddenly crashed straight into the gas station. The strong impact caused the gas station to collapse, setting on fire. The person who was filling up the gas panically ran away, but immediately after, he turned back, pulling the driver, who was fainting out safely. The bus is stuck on the rails. The passengers quickly escape, leaving the bus empty. Just a few seconds later, a train running at high speed, touring the bus in twin. The train was moving, the barrier was closed, but the car driver still slowly moved onto the tracks. As a result, the car collised with the rear of a train. Lucky, the driver was safe. At high speed, intending to overtake, but hits the mirror and sign. The collision caused the car to fly into the air, but luckily landed safely on the wheels. Dashcam footage captures a truck being forced into the guardrail, skidding along the edge before climbing onto the bridge's side after colliding with a car from the inner lane. A scene of pure chaos. The car was crossing the road when it was suddenly hit by a speeding motorbike. Perhaps due to panic, the car driver lost control, continuing to crash into the motorbike and the car waiting at the red light. The Camry was running through the intersection when it was hit by a truck, spinning in circles on the road. The strong impact caused the passenger side door to be crushed. A young man in Ilkadom, Samsun, was hit by a tram while crossing at a pedestrian crossing. Wearing headphones, he failed to hear the warnings. But luckily, the driver's quick reaction and emergency braking saved him from serious injury. A child was playing on the road and was run over by an unseen car. Everyone was panicked, but lucky, the child crawled out safely. The truck collisions with a sedan, rushing straight towards vehicles waiting for a red light. Lucky, the man on the motorbike quickly jumped out, narrowly avoiding the accident. The moment the driver loses control, crashes into the middle strip and rolls onto the crowded road. Luckily, passers-by rush into rescuing him in time. When you try to show off your driving skills, but end up with nothing but failure. The Maruti truck tried to overtake a truck in the same direction, but loses control, spins 180 degrees in front of the truck, and almost overlaps. Lucky, the driver escaped thanks to the truck behind brakes in time. To lack of vision, colliding with a car that was cutting across. As a result, the white car running straight into a parked car, pushing the car up onto the sidewalk. Boat-carrying truck suddenly stops on the train track, for reasons unknown. Seconds later, a speeding train smashes into it, turning both the truck and the boat into a mangled wreck. The container driver caused a series of accidents despite being chased by the police, still resiliently ran away. Thanks to the support of the people, the police arrested him, forced him to the police station. A quick test showed positive for drugs. The tram tries to cross the path as the light turned green, but hardly collapses with a car in the middle of the road. Both cars were heavily damaged. Lucky no one was injured. Despite an oncoming train, people gathered on the tracks, taking photos and videos, completely ignoring the danger. Their lack of safety awareness turned a social media moment into a near tragedy, just inches from disaster. the Hyundai driver overcame rudely at the wrong time and crashed straight into a tank truck. The serious collision caused the driver and passengers on the Hyundai to death. A driver lost control. The car reversed quickly, crossed the street and running towards the building. Lucky, a man reacted quickly and saved his son from an unfortunate accident. Shocking video captures the split-second escape of a driver in Ohio, just before a train smashes into his truck. When rescue teams arrive, they find nothing but a wreckage zone in northern Dayton. Excavator ran to the side of the road at high speed, causing the man on the motorbike to jump up in panic. At that moment, an SUV ran, hits the excavator, absorbs the entire impact, helping the man to only fall to the ground without any injuries. The man was driving his motorcycle across the street without paying attention and was cut off by a car that was speeding past, causing the motorcycle to be thrown away, and he falls on the place, but luckily wasn't injured. Horrifying moment when the pickup truck driver hit a piece of ice at high speed, causing the car to lose its control and spin 360 degrees on the highway. Lucky, the driver was able to control the steering wheel in time, avoiding a catastrophic accident. Reckless bus driver tries to beat the barrier at the last second but stops right before the crossing, with the rear of the bus still on the tracks. As the train approaches, passengers flee in panic. Just seconds later, impact. Incredibly, no one was injured. The railway crossing had been down, but the man stumbled ahead, rushed onto the railway tracks, just as the train was approaching at high speed. Lucky he jumped over, but his shoes flooded off a little faster, but it was almost a horrific tragedy. Couple riding a motorcycle crossing the road without watching, forcing the truck driver to brake under to avoid a collision. As a result, another motorbike riding right behind loses balance, sliding and falling due to brake under touch. Cadillac CT 4 driver enters the left lane, causing the car behind to brake badly. While looking at the mirror, he hits hard into the middle strip, veers into the other lane, causing a multiple accident. Debris flies all over the highway. One car overlaps. Moment as a Tesla's accelerator gets stuck, causing it to spin uncontrollably and crash into multiple vehicles on a street in Puerto Rico. The third car trying to follow and turning around, but didn't notice the motorbike rushing towards it. When it stopped, it was too late. The motorbike hiked into the side. The driver flipped over the car. Lucky, he was still able to stand up. The driver resiliently crossed the train track, but was lost in time and was hit out by the train. The truck driver insists his dash cam saved him after a woman crashed into the bushes, then tried to blame him for the accident. dangerous situation when the man on the motorbike falls into the blind spot of the tanker truck. While turning right, he suddenly falls, spins. Just as the tanker truck turns, gets covered under it. Luckily, the victim bends, escapes in time, narrowly avoiding tragedy. Pickup driver misjudges the timing and tries to outrun an oncoming train. The result? A direct impact. His vehicle is dragged for 500 meters before the hundreds of tons train finally stops. Incredibly, he only suffered minor injuries. Traffic camera recorded the scene of a couple riding a motorbike violating the law, being asked to stop by the authorities. The young man quickly turned out and run away but lost control, causing both of them to slip in the middle of the road. And a bus collide on Perdita Street, sending the ambulance crashing into a Toyota behind it. The ambulance driver suffered injury, and the entire incident was caught on camera. The truck driver thought he could cross the rails, but because the truck was too long, the back end gets stuck. At that moment, a train comes at high speed, throwing the truck away. The Toyota, RAV4, and Ford Fusion were waiting at the red light, and as soon as they started when the light turned green, the Chevrolet Camaro crossed the red light, rushed forward, and crashed the Toyota RAV4, overlapping it. The collision was so fast that the motorcycle driver behind was unable to avoid it, but luckily he was not injured. BMW suddenly turned on the right turn signal right at the turn, causing the car in the same direction to not be able to avoid, collided violently, flipped over, and ran on two wheels. Lucky, the crossover driver was able to regain balance and stop the vehicle safely. A car suddenly stopped in the middle of the highway, forcing the truck behind to swift to avoid a collision. However, the tractor truck behind did not have time to react. Crashed straight into the truck and then overloaded. Three men stepped on the underground barrier while another lifted it up. Seeing this, the BMW Series 7 driver pressed the gas, but the barrier suddenly jumped up, causing the car to crash into it. The police car speed to the scene, but due to avoiding a car, it running straight into the gas station, crashing into three parked cars. The dump truck driver, swift to avoid the motorcycle riding rudely, but lost control and hardly collided with a dummy truck, running in the opposite direction. A reckless driver tries to beat the train and crosses the tracks at the worst possible moment. A massive collision follows. But luckily, the train stops in time, and no one is hurt. At a deserted intersection, a car rapidly approached and stopped about it. At the same time, a bicycle carrying two teenagers speed by, lost control, and crashed straight into a residential fence. Both flooded forward, hitting the fence heads. The young man crossed the road on a skateboard, just as the black sedan runs the red light and hits him. The strong impact sent him flying onto the roof of the car, then bouncing and falling onto the road. Pickup truck towing a trailer attempts to cross the railway tracks, but fate had other plans as an oncoming train smashes into it, making the collision unavoidable. The car continuously signals, suddenly changes lanes, just as the tank truck behind rushes in at high speed. The tanker driver swings to avoid the collision, but loses control, plunges into the ditch, almost crushing another car. The large truck was moving. A young man on a motorbike trying to cut across the truck, but fell into a blind spot. As a result, the truck hit straight, dragging the motorbike under the truck. Luckily, the man survived after crawling out from under the truck. The innocent woman crossed the street, causing two black cars to brake urgently. The container behind also braked urgently, but the car's body sliding forward, causing a horrifying series accident. The driver falls asleep at the wheel, despite the police signaling him to stop. He still rashes straight into the police car parked in front. Terrifying footage captures the moment a car suddenly crashes straight into a bubble tea shop. Miraculously, two customers inside escape by inches from what could have been a disaster. A huge concrete pillar weighing 4 tons suddenly slid from the crane, fell straight onto the road, and hit hard on the head of the Mercedes waiting below. The incident left witnesses out of the heart and scared. A loose tire triggers a horrific 9-vehicle crash on Russia's Ring Road. Fortunately, the drivers managed to pull over in time, avoiding a major tragedy. The car loses control, jumps onto the sidewalk, and nearly runs over a pedestrian and two young men standing outside their workplace. Luckily, all three escape in the nick of time. The bus behind did not keep a distance, swerved and crashed into the barrier. The barrier pierced the glass. The passengers panicked it and run away. The driver tried to reverse the car to avoid the oncoming train. Just a few seconds of delay, and this could have ended in a tragic accident. For unknown reasons, the truck loses control, suddenly running into a resident's house, destroying the iron gate, and then overtakes. A truck turned at the intersection, hit a motorcycle rider, but luckily there were no serious consequences. Perhaps thanks to the helmet, as the impact hit the victim's head. Our camera captures the chilling moment. A motorcycle gets sandwiched between a car and a truck in a brutal collision. A truly haunting scene. The young man on the motorbike overcame, cut in front of the passenger bus, but collision and fallen down, caught under the car. Luckily, the bus brakes in time. He panickled and crawled out without being injured. A man was driving a motorcycle across the street without paying attention and was hit by a car that was speeding past and flying away. The motorbike was flooded away, destroyed, and the man fell on the spot, but luckily was not injured. Just as he steps out of his car, a speeding vehicle nearly takes him out, blasting his door wide open. A crucial reminder that safety isn't just about driving, but also about parking smartly. The tanker truck suddenly crashed into the middle strip, flipped over, and exploded in the middle of the road. The driver was then taken to the hospital. Dashcam footage shows a truck driver struggling with the steering wheel as the truck's front bounces wildly at high speed. Eventually, he confesses to local police and gets fined for overloading, putting everyone on the road at risk. The dump truck's hydraulic system broken, suddenly exploded, causing the truck bed to quickly down, causing the front of the truck to pop up. When it was lowered, the windshield break off. A pedestrian crossed the intersection just as two cars coming from two directions. Both drivers swift to avoid a collision but crashed into each other. The man reacted quickly, jumped forward, almost getting stuck between the two cars. While walking, the young man suddenly saw a Skoda rapidly approaching. With extremely quick reflexes, he immediately jumped to the side, escaping a head-on collision. The Lotus Exige sped across the wet and slippery road, lost control at high speed, spun sideways, hit the middle strip, then bounced up, hitting hard into the electric pole. The extremely strong impact caused the car to spin 180 degrees. Debris floating everywhere, almost to shut up. The car speeds through the intersection, collides with the SUV in front, flips over, and flies out, hitting many cars stopped at red lights. The truck driver deliberately crossed the railway tracks, ignoring the red warning light. When the truck was nearly over, a passenger train suddenly cummed at high speed, highly hipped it, causing the truck to broken in twin. The car suddenly sways like it's dancing. Then boom! It slams into the guardrail, flipping over in a spectacularly dramatic crash. A hard lesson: stay in control, or the car will decide your fate for you. Security cameras captured the chaotic moment when an out-of-control excavator speeds forward, smashing through a gate pillar and a chunk of wall, leaving destruction in its wake. 3 people were sitting inside their home when out of nowhere, a truck smashed through the wall. The most shocking part? They remained unbelievably calm despite the chaotic scene. Steam locomotive derails shortly after departure. Fortunately, there are no serious damages or injuries. Welcome to today.